TJ, the worker. ISTJs are one of the most responsible and Myers Briggs sites. They're also the most private. Well, they know how to be gracious and articulate in social situations because they're trying to behave appropriately. Underneath the friendly facade, they remain introverts. They know how to mix and single, but they're most at home working independently on pursuing leisure activities alone. Falling in love. When ISTJs fall in love, they make loyal partners. They aren't outwardly sentimental, however, and really express their feelings. To them, loyalty to their partner speaks louder than words. This can cause problems in a relationship when the partner feels ignored or unappreciated. Because ISTJs are traditionalists as hard as they usually conform to stereotypes of their gender. Female ISTJs prefer conventional feminine roles, combining nurturing with their natural objective, organized natures. If the male partner of a female ISTJ is sick, she's at his bedside taking his temperature, bringing water and orange juice, making sure he follows the doctor's instructions. ISTJ males are protective of their female partners in a macho sort of way. They know how to behave like the strong, commanding types their culture approves of, opening doors, pulling out chairs, and so on. As traditional types, they bring their partners candy and flowers on special occasions. At work, ISTJs gravitate toward careers that are practical and have tangible results. Jobs that allow them to work alone and are especially attractive as long as they require problem solving and produce concrete results. INTJs prefer tasks they can do in prescribed ways, leaving no invention. Surgery, law, and accounting are examples of careers that attracted ISTJs. They're less likely to be found in jobs that require abstract thinking. They like disconnecting settings where their socializing is required. This is Jeff Cochell. We got the Keebler Cupcake, we got Kiwi, and birds sensing, feeling, and perceiving, compassionate, gentle, modest, adaptable, perceptive, observant, loyal, spontaneous. ISTJs are more in touch with themselves and the world around them than most types. They are driven by a love and a desire to see and know about everything. Their natural curiosity makes them as interested in the natural world and people. ISTPs are driven by the need to encourage others to fulfill their potential while not intruding or imposing on them. Because of their gentle, compassionate nature, you may find that other more assertive types overlook their contributions. INFPs are graceful and athletic. They enjoy the feeling of their bodies in motion and have a physical awareness of what they can and cannot do. They can excel at physical activities requiring both sensitivity and strength, such as dancing and figure skating. Falling in love is a major event for INFPs. In the first stages of a love affair, they are consumed by delight. They set aside future worries in order to immerse themselves in the new relationship. Once committed, they make devoted, loyal partners, always considering the needs of their lovers. They may find ways to show their appreciation for the other person. They may even change careers, move, or make other life changes for the partner. In their desire to please their partners, ISTPs fail to stand up for their own needs. When rejected, they withdraw and rehash every aspect of the relationship in their minds, wondering where they went wrong. They tend to assume more of the blame than is warranted. Friends can help them face reality, encourage them to become more assertive, and motivate them to resume their normal lives. ISFPs who are fortunate to have self-serving or manipulative partners are exposed ISTJs carry out their domestic duties promptly and efficiently. If Saturday is lawn mowing day, the male ISTJ is out in the yard that first thing that morning. If it's the day for grocery shopping, the female ISTJ will be headed out the door with an organized list. Because they love tradition, ISTJs go out to celebrate holidays and important family events. Birthdays and anniversaries require elaborate preparations. Everyone is expected to show up and participate. Those who fail to do so are likely to have a guilt trip laid on them. ISTJ's parents make rules and regulations for their children. Whatever the ISTJ learned while growing up is passed down in his or her offspring. Family rules are clear. Mother and fathers make the rules, and children follow them. Children have jobs to do just as the grown-ups. Even leisure time tends to be scheduled. ISTJs can surprise friends and family in their retirement years. ISTJs who were once demanding and difficult may loosen up. They become more spontaneous and fun-loving with friends and family. A classic example of ISTJs whose personality softens in retirement is the grandmother who was once a firm disciplinarian with children and will become playful and easygoing with her grandchildren. A tough executive entering retirement may surprise everyone but turn his home office into a music studio complete with studio recording equipment. ISTP, the artisan. Introverted, sensing, thinking, and perceiving, independent, sensible, logical, factual, analytical, adventurous, skillful, enterprising. As observers of life, the ISTPs don't miss much. They're logical and adaptable to existing circumstances. They do well in situations that require immediate action. Whether at work or play, they enjoy activities that require hands-on skills. They collect details about subjects they interest in. If they're baseball fans, they know the statistics about players. If they're nature enthusiasts, they can tell you about the genus and species of wildflowers and so on. ISTJs like to share their interests and hobbies with partners. Conversations with their partners often don't concern the relationship at all. They're more likely to involve the detailed leisure activities or events at work. An ISTJ can go on about campaigning, how they set up a project at work, or the features of different car models. Sometimes these discussions are boring for partners who prefer to talk more about personal matters. If a relationship is failing, ISTJs often feel helpless to do much about it. It's hard for them to explore their own painful feelings or listen to their partners. They tend to ignore unpleasant realities and continue as they were, giving up hope only when the evidence tells them it's useful to continue. They then take a stoic attitude no matter what pain they're feeling inside and simply move on. At work, ISTJs like jobs with concrete objectives and clear tasks. They need to understand what the practical goals of their project. When approaching assignments, they look for the most efficient ways to get the job done and don't waste time on activities they regard as unimportant. ISTJs are able to observe complex details about technical systems and apply their knowledge in practical ways. Problem solving is their long suit. When crises occur on the job, they continue to work calmly even when people around them are falling apart. ISTPs are independent and inventive. They dislike being micromanaged and rebel under too many restrictions. They tend to be impersonal in their dealings with coworkers. It takes a long time for people to get to know them. Under stress, ISTJs may take many shortcuts at work and even slack off on the job. They may do the part of a project that is enjoyable and postpone less but critical steps. Since ISTPs are generally reserved, they have a tendency to keep important details to themselves. They may not inform others about what's going on. Because diplomacy is not their strong point. What's your type? According to Myers-Briggs experts, no one personally. The type's heart says that no one can source shiftly from month to month depending on circumstances, but they become more balanced with advancing age. In general, though, one preferred type is the individual dominating. The four type pairs, introverted or extroverted. If your Myers-Briggs tells that you have a preference for introversion, you recharge your batteries by spending time alone or in the company of one or two others. Groups of people wear you out after a while. On the other hand, if you're an extrovert, you start getting fidgety when you've had no social interaction for a while. You need people around you to stimulate and refresh you. You're not locked into your energy preferences. Even introverts like to party sometimes, and extroverts need a little solitude now and then. If your attention preference is sensing, you experience the world more through your five senses and through inner reflection. You believe in the tangible, proof is everything. On the other hand, if the intuitive, you require less sensory data to draw conclusions. Instead, you reflect on the meaning of what's happening. When two people attend a party and share observation in the car or the way home, the sensing type may say, "Did you see the diamond Jill was wearing?" The intuitive may answer no, but it's obvious that Jack is crazy about her. Thinking or feeling. To each personal decisions as a thinking type, you weigh the objective evidence and chart a course of action accordingly. As a feeling type, you consider how the decision fits into your value system and how it will affect others. At work, a thinking supervisor may say, If John doesn't improve his work ethic, I'll have to fire him. The feeling supervisor might say John's work is below average, but he's struggling to keep 2 kids in college. Both are capable of reversing their opinion. Give him a little persuasion. Perceiving or judging. Your preference for perceiving or judging determines your attitude toward life. As a judger, you thinks first. You pay your bills on time and meet your deadlines. A perceiving friend